Hey, what's up? This is a quick demo video for a private collector, so we'll just get right into the saber. This is a Solos Hold Rebel Orphan. So it came out really nice. As a kit, when you get this, this one was bought from Corbanth, and I don't know if you can buy these from Solos Hold or not, but it comes in just the aluminum finish. And then I sent this off to Christopher Royal over at Royal Custom Armory to do the powder coating. So he did the black parts, obviously, the brass ring accent, the red switch housing here, and everything came out really nice. Oh, and he did the gold bars on the fake clamp card. So those came out really nice too. And then I put this kit together, installed with a CFX and CCSabers per what the customer wanted. This is a 2-button setup. Normally this kit would be a 1-button, but these aluminum dual tactiles from Robert Sotomayor over at Sorok Sabers, they fit into this switch housing. So it was a good opportunity to turn this saber into a 2-button setup. So that's what we did here. Sound venting on this guy is actually on the side, but I wanted the battery facing upwards, and I consider the switch right here to be the top of the saber. So what I did for that, when I take this handle off to access the chassis, I'll show you. Couple threads, no biggie. So you can see I made the battery in line with the top of the saber and the switch housing, and I took this speaker and I cocked it off to the side. I wanted to do that instead of cocking this entire saber off to the side. That would have been the easier thing to do, but I thought that that would look a little hokey. So I just did it to the speaker, so the speaker would face the sound venting and everything else was straight up. As you can see here, you can see that angle that I did. And then ran the CFX board on the end here, which is something I don't typically do. I would typically have this closer to the switch, but I had to line up with the sound venting holes that you see right here. And that goes right here. So the board is over here in the pommel. You have easy access to your SD card and the micro USB to the board, and you never have to move this board. You do have a little piece that's cut out of the chassis for some art tape in case you ever need it in the future, but this thing's a pretty tight press fit. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the inside. So we'll throw a battery in. There are a lot of wires coming past this battery terminal to get to the board, but what you may not see in the video too well, but you'll see it when you get it in hand, is that wire passage that I've got underneath this battery cradle is pretty big. So it's actually a little bit bigger than it needed to be. I just wanted to make sure I had plenty of room to run everything to the board and not interfere with the battery, and it works out fine. So we'll throw a battery in it. I'm trying not to say spring side is your negative in the battery terminal anymore because I'm getting so much crap for it. So, you know, I don't think I'm gonna be saying it anymore. So here, we got the battery in. We'll take the handle, we'll put it on. Once you get to about right here, you might feel just a little bit of tightness, and I'll show you that. I'll show you why before I put the handle on. So when we take the pommel cap off, and you don't need to do this, but I'm just gonna do it to show you what I mean. This comes off. I made this chassis an exact fit so that this would slide over here, just like that. As you can see, that's how that fits in there. It was an exact fit, but then I press fit my board in. So when I press fit my board, I mean, you're talking like 0.5 millimeter or something. The chassis tends to go whank, a little bit like that. So I came back and I sanded everything when the board was in. It fits nice and snug, you know, but you might just feel that little bit of difference when you're screwing on the handle. So don't be alarmed, that's what you're feeling. Now we'll assemble this real quick. Now this shroud and this fake clamp area I put on with JB Weld. So it's not going anywhere. Okay, and then I put your, well, let me just put the handle on first before we go over it. We'll lock everything down. Now that that's tight, and you can see where like the battery would be right here, and you can see your speaker right there facing the sound venting. So that's what I wanted. I put your 4 pins, so you got 2 pins here, 2 pins over here. I put those in with CA glue. I did put the main red housing in with CA glue as well. And now when it comes to the dual tactile, the aluminum piece, I just held that in with some E6000. That way, in case it ever needed to be taken out, it could be taken out without too much trouble, but it's nice in there right now. Oh, wake the board up. Activation. Maybe. Whoop. I was hitting the auxiliary, that's why that didn't happen. So you hit the auxiliary and you get your battery meter, but we don't have a blade in it. So bottom activation. These are all lighting up. Now I just have the stock font package on here. So no smooth swing. So we're gonna throw a 7/8 inch blade in it. I did drill and tap you an M3 set screw right here. I'm not going to use that guy because my blade is so tight in the socket that I just don't need to use it. I also did not lock down this emitter, which is something you might want to do, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to make that call on your own because you have a blade plug that's basically a smaller one of these that screws on when you're not using it. So I didn't want to take that ability away from you. But when you screw that off, that's what you get right here. This is a 1 inch diameter in here, by the way. And then when you put this on, it drops it down to a 7/8. And that's what we've got going on. But yeah, let me tighten this up and we'll throw a blade in. So because it's so tight, when I put my blade in, I'm twisting my blade as if I'm actually screwing it into the blade socket. I'll probably just flip the saber on. It's pretty tight. This blade has been sanded quite a bit. And it still doesn't want to go. There we go. So this piece right here holds the blade super straight as you're going in. I mean, no wobbles at all. So I didn't have a problem turning on that saber as I'm screwing the blade in until I make contact with those pins, and then that way I know where to stop, or just where to stop. If I hadn't done that, I'm putting so much force in this guy to crank down. I didn't want to crank on those pins and just keep going, so that's why I did that. Probably should have put a different font on here to demo it. I didn't put any fonts on here because I know as soon as you get it, you're going to be doing your own thing to it.
Sound bank selection. Crystal focus.
Just cycle through the colors so you can see your NeoPixel pins are doing what they should. Stop on a green. Just like that, and we'll do one more.
Sound bank selection. Crystal focus. Exit menu. Crystal focus. Ringing.
Stop there. That blade in here is as solid as it could be. I mean, it is just not going anywhere. And like I said, I've sanded this blade down quite a bit over a year. I've had this test blade over a year to fit different kinds of 89 sabers and stuff like that. And this guy's just not wanting to let it go. So whatever blade you have, you're probably going to find yourself doing some fit and finish to it to get it to fit into this guy. but that's okay. I know you were a little bit concerned with some wobbliness, but there's nothing wobbly about this guy. But anyway, if you got any questions, let me know. If not, I'll get this and your other saber out in the mail to you Monday. Thanks.